tell me.
Michael, I guess let's just start with your reaction to what happened to Alex.
You kind of pay attention to everything going on, but you kind of have to filter it yourself because there's so many guesses, assumptions, and speculations going on. So I try not to read into it too much, but obviously it's something that you can't hide yourself from. You hate seeing somebody lose their job, and Alex has been so genuine and kind to me, so I can't say enough and thank him enough for that.
Yeah, what did he mean to you as a manager?
He was very good to me. My first time in the big leagues, obviously, I'm trying to learn as much as I can. I'm nervous, and he did a very good job of making me comfortable. He went, in my opinion, he went out of his way just to make sure that I was comfortable because having played and been in that position before, he knew how much pressure there was. So I'm very thankful for that.
Is it much of a distraction to be heading to spring training and not know who your manager is at this moment?
On my end, not exactly. That's one of those things that's out of my control. I would have loved to play for Alex again, but it's out of my control, so all I can do is focus on what I can control, and that's make sure I'm ready to play.
Just because he was your first major league manager is kind of a little unsettling. All of a sudden, find out that he's not going to be there anymore.
I wouldn't say it's unsettling. No.
How have you guys as players rallied in the last couple of days? I'm sure there's group messages and some of you guys in town. And what's the message?
It's so fresh. There hasn't really been any major communication in regards to that. At least on my end, there hasn't. But I haven't been added any group message or anything about this at all.
How much in favor of seeing the organization stay in-house for Alex's replacement would you be? How much would you like to see that?
That's out of my control, man. Like when I was in Greenville, I tried to play GM about when I would get called up to Salem, and I learned that I perform very badly when I try and do that. So I'm going to stick to being a player.
How'd you find out the news?
Twitter. Honestly.
How surprising is that, though, to kind of just like, what's the initial reaction?
The initial reaction was kind of offset because of everything leading up to it and all the speculation and everything going on with the Astros as well. So I can't really say what my initial reaction was because there was somewhat of a process of it coming out. But you hate to see it. Like I said, you do hate to see it.
Baseball is definitely trying to get rid of that kind of sign stealing technology, that kind of stuff. Do you think that's a good plan from Major League Baseball to get rid of it?
That's so new to me, honestly. In the minor leagues, we didn't really have any of that option at all. It was just the old school of just you get to second base, you try and figure it out like that. But beyond that, I mean, I honestly don't really have much of an opinion on it just because I'm not too knowledgeable on the aspect.
Have you spoken to Alex since we eventually parted ways?
Yes, I did. I thanked him for everything that he did for me and caring for me so much, just man to man as a person. I like how he approached things as treating me as more than just a player. And from my initial interactions with him, he cared about me as a person, which meant a lot to me.
Do you think that's going to be the biggest?
Text.
Do you think that's going to be the biggest void that not only yourself but others in the clubhouse who you're very tight with are going to have to figure out early on in spring training and the regular season that this guy wasn't just a baseball manager, he was a big influence on you guys?
I can't really speak for anybody else, but I think everybody knows that he was more than just not just a player, but not just a manager, but he was a good person and looked out for us as well. So I think that's very well known.
When you made the transition from the minors to majors, did you notice more of a hypervigilance about sign stealing and just kind of ratchet it up a little?
There were so many differences and escalations of everything from the minors to the majors, so I can't really narrow it down just to say that specifically was significantly different.
Now that the report came out with Houston, did you know things were that elaborate in terms of sign stealing? The teams went to those lengths?
In regards to specifics, I did not. There, just by watching the game, there'd be some times where you would see something happen where you're just like, that's either incredibly impressive or something like that's happening. But I mean, like I said, I was new to the big leagues with all of this, so I was impressed by a lot of things. So I don't really have a good opinion on that, honestly.
Another manager lost his job today, Carlos Beltran. He's out with the Mets. Do you think baseball's going to be very vigilant in monitoring everything that's going on, especially to start the season, making sure that everybody is staying within the rules?
I would assume so. I mean, I don't think you make such a announcement like that without having a plan and purpose for ratifying it.
You were new to the big leagues. You saw a lot of things you said you were impressed with, a lot of things that were new. Did you see anything that you thought was wrong?
That's kind of tough. There were so many positives throughout the whole season, and I was just so happy to be there. I can't really say anything that I didn't have any negative takeaways from the season.
Michael, what's your response, so to speak, for people that are going to call the Red Sox cheaters?
I can't control what other people say. That's something that I've learned and I've come to peace with. People are going to say and they're going to have their own opinions, and you can't do anything about that. I know my opinion, and that's all that I can really do, honestly.
Mike, from a health standpoint, how are you doing?
Very good, very good. Thank you for asking that. I'm doing very well. I appreciate you. I mean, I'm happy. Life is good. But I approach this offseason a little bit differently, where I kind of, having taken the knowledge that I learned last year and knowing that I'm going to be versatile, whether I play second, first, third, outfield, wherever I'm at, I wanted to make sure that I was physically available and ready to go. So I've worked a lot on mobility and general athleticism and footwork this offseason.
What if they told you kind of about, what your role could be?
I haven't really gotten much of a specific. I wish I had a better answer for that, but I haven't really gotten any specifics. I know that I've been told that I will be a part of the team moving forward, but beyond that, I'm not really sure.
You had a lot of highlights last year, Michael. What is the best highlight that sticks out that you think you'll carry forward into this year?
Highlight just like memory or just something?
No, accomplishments, on-field accomplishments, something that you can look back and say, I did this my first year in the big leagues, and it's going to help me going forward.
I mean, it's my first year in the big leagues. There were so many cool moments. First hit, first home run. By far, my favorite moment was just getting to see my mom's reaction to my first home run.
What was it like for you this offseason, though, not knowing what position you have to train at? Like, did they at least tell you kind of, hey, get some work here or practice over there or something like that?
The approach was more so just towards versatility. So I wasn't really focused on, like, working to be a third baseman or working to be a first baseman. It was just to not become athletic, but, like, focus more on athleticism, footwork, and just make sure that I'm ready for whatever I need to be. Like, I just want to be on the field. So at the end of the day, as long as I'm ready to be on the field at whatever position I'm needed, then I'm going to be happy.
So you weren't able
How's your
to
swing?
Good. My swing feels very good. I'm swinging 7 times a week, but
I was gonna say 7 times a day, that's a lot.
no, yeah, I like to hit a lot. So every offseason, the toughest part is deciding a date to force myself to wait to hit.
Has outfield been part of the equation?
I've heard some things, but it hasn't been anything specific. I haven't heard anything with particular positions yet.
You glad to see Mookie still around?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm very excited about that. Mookie did a lot, taking me under his wing, teaching me, and just looking out for me as well, all last season and even before that. So I'm very thankful that he's back. I'm looking forward to learning and watching him even more.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised by some of the trade rumors? David Price, Jackie Bradley Jr., Mookie have all been rumored. Is that surprising you that the team would cut payroll?
I've actually purposely tried to avoid that. Throughout the minor leagues, I was tweeted millions of times that I was getting traded, and I just don't like trying to play GM. I'm not good at it. I try not to concern